Hey folks, it's Mobius Y here once again, and I just want to show 100% proof that ghost shells exist in World of Tanks. So, naysayers, be warned, you are about to be downtrodden by seeing this little video here. So, the situation was, this was one of my first 50 or so games in the Object 430 version 2. And I was playing solo on Fisherman's Bay War. You'll actually see the full replay in my next video here, replaying the Object 430 version 2, where I do some post-game commentary on a few games here. But for now, we'll just stick to this clip. So the situation was, there's a one-shot M103 just on the other side of town that I wanted to take out of the game once and for all, as he's been just causing havoc for my team. So I blow past an enemy Tiger P that notices me too late. I blow past a T-54 that is not paying attention, and I come up right behind this M103, ready to put a shot into the sweet spot to take him out of the game, but my shot goes right through, as you can see there. So we're just going to go back and slow that down just a little bit here. You can see that the moments leading up to it, I don't turn my tank, I don't change targets, and I don't hit any obstacles for a couple seconds or several moments before I even pull the trigger. I had the trigger held down so that my shot would fire as soon as it was loaded. And as you can see, even in the slow-mo, it's still passed right through it. So we're going to look at this frame by frame. I took out 6 critical frames, just indicating this moment here. This first frame shows my reticule 100% aimed at the engine deck here. Due to me being a much smaller tank than the M103, when I auto-locked onto it, the reticule was at such a height where the bottom 60 to 70% of the reticule, if I was in sniper view, would have been filled up by the rear of the engine deck of the M103, and the top little bit of the reticule would still have been filled by the side of the turret and the very top, as well as the turret ring between the engine deck and the turret side that I would have been visible by. So my reticule would have been 100% filled by nothing but tank. There would have been no spaces or gaps in between there at all. The second frame is the moment where I actually have the shell loaded and the tank fires. So you can see that I still traveled straight, 100% straight. The tank was still moving in a straight line. And that's when the shell was fired, and due to me being in motion, the reticule did move just a tiny bit, but the server still would have registered me either aiming at the tank in this frame, right where the reticule is, or in the previous frame. More than likely in the previous frame due to server-client lag. So the third frame here is where the shell is leaving my tank and heading towards the M103. It's on target. It's heading towards the M103 at some angle. We just can't really determine just what yet, but it is 100% on target. It wasn't a case of server client lag where the shell. You've probably seen it before. If you snap your turret around and fire off a shot too quickly, sometimes your shell will go off, 15 degrees to the right, basically where you were aiming just a half a second ago. That happens, but this isn't the case at all. I'm still traveling in a straight line, I'm still on target, and the shell leaving the barrel is going exactly where I was aiming, because the server registered my aim to be true on the M103. Here in the fourth frame, you can see the shell actually entering the engine deck of the M103, but it is also passing through on the other side of the M103, resulting in no damage. So this is the first frame where where you're probably looking at it going, okay, that's odd. So the fifth frame here essentially confirms what the fourth frame basically hints at, because the shell is actually impacting the ground behind the M103, and you can see the tracer passing right through the M103 itself, or at least is starting to. So the shell is essentially passed directly through this M103, and here on the sixth frame, I'm still traveling on my trajectory, and the shell did land on target. It went into the rear of the engine deck of the M103, but it impacted the ground off in the distance behind my target. This isn't a case of my shell didn't go where I was aiming because the server said I was aiming elsewhere. This is the case where I was 100% on target and the shell passed right through it. Had the shell gone low, it would have simply gone into the back of the engine deck of the M103 and damaging it there and essentially taking it out of the game. Had the shell gone high, it would have gone either into the turret ring of the M103 on the back side of the turret, that funny sloped plate at the back of the M103's turret that slopes up and away from the hull. It would have gone into that part of the turret or the turret side itself, which both are really weak, as I know this is the M103's stock turret, and both those plates are extremely weak. This gun has 201 millimeters of penetration. That would have been more than enough to penetrate any part of this tank that I would have hit, essentially. I would have been a lot more complacent if it was more a case of I hit the engine deck, like literally the top of the engine deck, at an auto bounce angle, and the shell simply ricocheted for no damage. That would have been okay, but we'll run the clip again. You'll see there's no indication of a bounce whatsoever. There's no registry that I even hit the tank at all. The shell simply passes right through. So there it is, proof of ghost shells. They happen. They are extremely rare, but when they happen, and you can definitely notice them. So I just wanted to get that out there, that stuff in this game that is somewhat unexplainable does happen, although the instances themselves are extremely rare. Things like ghost shells and stuff like that, but just about anything else in this game can be explained by simple game mechanics. Ghost shells are simply an in-game bug that have been around since the PC version of the game, and that's it. That's all it is. In an instance like this, I wasn't too upset over it, and I just moved on to the next game once this game was finished. As there was nothing I could do about it at the time, these things happen. So, just wanted to share that with you guys. In the meantime, happy tanking. This is Mobius Y signing off.